Hey guys, and welcome back to Trionic 7. I'm back in Anna's 2006 Saab 9.5 Vector, and we're getting closer to inspection time, and I've noticed some minor things I want to fix. And in this video, we'll be replacing the horn. I know it's a very odd issue, and I never heard of anyone else having this problem, but apparently one of the two horns in this car are not working. Let me show you what the horn sounds like right now. And you might say, well, that horn sounds like it's working, and you're only half right. You see, a safety feature of the 9.5 is that it has two horns, one high note and one low note. This makes it much louder, and you can honk on people on the highway and they will definitely hear you. What you just heard is the high note, and the low note is no longer working. I checked the wiring diagrams. Remember, you can find this in the WIS Saab workshop manual. And there it says that the two horns are connected in parallel, so there can't be any other fault in the wiring other than the actual horn unit. So I got myself a pair of used horns. This is from a Saab 9.5 model year 2003. Thanks, Kenneth, for selling me this from your spare parts car. And the horn has a marking says either H or L for high and low. So I checked the workshop manual for the procedure for replacing the horn, and I will be following these instructions today. So here's the Fusion Blue wagon. Yes, it's a bit dirty. I'm gonna do the wash later today, but you can see it's a 2006 model year, and that's bad news for us because we need to actually loosen the entire front panel of the car. If you have an older 9.5 that is up till 2005, you can just open up the grille and reach inside. I have a video on how to replace the snorkel on my 2002 9.5 Aero, and you basically just pull the grille out and then you can reach inside, and the horns were reachable from there. But now we'll have to do a few more steps. There are two bolts in the wheel well, one there and one there. And then there's 4 plastic clips, I think, just above the grille. And then we can angle the front slightly forward. I'm not going to remove it entirely. That's a much more complicated procedure. But the workshop manual says we should put something under the car to hold up the front while we lift it a bit forward, and then we can reach inside and do the replacement. I would be so mad if I would have to remove the entire front just to remove a stupid horn, but we're in luck today. So in the wheel well we have 2 hex-headed bolts, this one and this one. It seems to be slightly smaller than 10 millimeters. We did the same on both sides. And in the engine bay we remove the torx head bolt and the 2 plastic clips, and then the last torx head bolt. And then we should be able to get our hands inside the front and get to the horns. Time to remove the bolts, and you might notice that the fender liner isn't really matching the front panel, and it's been this way since we bought the car. I know I can fix it by pouring some boiling water onto the plastic and then bending it in and then pouring cold water to fix the new shape, but I haven't bothered. It's no big deal. It's a daily drive, you know, and things will be worn out anyway. So when I push it in, it just flips back out again. Anyway, the hex-headed bolts are size 8 millimeters, and we're just going to remove them. We do the same to the other side. Then we have a T30 Torx bolt here. Same here. And then it's a typical Saab plastic clip. You push the center rivet, and then you can pull the whole rivet out. And then to reinstall, you push out the middle pin back out all the way, push the rivet down, and then engage it by pushing the middle pin down again. Super easy. Now from now on it would be a good idea to have an assistant with me, but I don't, and I'll have to support the front when I'm leaning it forward in some way. I have a crazy idea that just might work. I didn't find anything perfect that would fit the bill, but 2 bags of barbecue charcoal seems to do the trick. I'm also using a fleece blanket for extra support and cushioning. You see, the front is still going to be held in underneath the car, and you don't want to break the plastic by having all the weight on those fasteners. Now at this point the manual just says release the hook with a screwdriver. The problem is it's a big front and I have no idea where this so-called hook is, and doesn't tell me where. So let the guessing begin. Aha! Okay, so I snapped all the plastic clips here loose, and I think we can work with this. That's probably enough space for me to fit my hand in and get the tools done. I'm gonna protect the paint here by using a piece of cloth, since this part likes to go up and scratch the paint otherwise. So I can see both horns inside there. I just had to figure out which of the left and right horns is the one I'm replacing. And looking at it, it seems like it's the right side horn. Unfortunately, because the left side is the one that's mostly loose. Seems to be 2 fasteners here, and I think they're 10mm. I'm gonna use this long socket with a flexible head to see if I can get them both off. And this is gonna be hard to show on video, but I can almost fit my hand in here. And probably also reach the bolts. First one out. Okay, I think the horn is loose here, but I'm gonna have to cut some cable ties that is holding this part in place. And then I have to release the connector. Aha, I found a little gotcha here. It's not just this fastener here, but also this one. This holds the snorkel in place. And it's only the right side, the lower horn, that has this. And the left side, the high horn, does not. And that's an 8mm head. I'll use this tool this time. And out it comes. Don't you just hate it when the workshop manual says there's 1 bolt when there's actually 2? And now the air intake pipe or the snorkel is completely loose too. Alright, step by step we are getting closer. I really wanted to show you more, but I just can't fit the camera inside here. There's a cable going here that's held in on this bracket, and there's a plastic clip going under it. I'll try to use a pair of pliers to push the clip together and pull it out so we can get the whole bracket loose. Then it's just a matter of releasing the connector. And with that done, it's just the connector left. And there will be a red tab, and you use a small screwdriver to force the tab open, and then you can yank the connector out. Whew, finally, now the horn is completely loose. Let's see if I can fish it out from here. And there it is. Okay, I now pull the connector out to see if the new horn is going to work. You push the 2 parts together and then click the red tab, just like all Saab connectors. I'm letting the whole horn hang like this, using the fleece blanket as cover. Let's see if this makes a difference. That's what I call a working horn. So now I put the new horn back in. It's going to be the same annoying procedure, having almost no space for the hands and having no possibility of putting the camera in. I'm going to do it in reverse order compared to the way I removed the old one. I'll put it inside. First the connector, since that's the most flexible part. Then get it into the right position with the tab. Pull the bolt back, and then finally the cable tie snapping in. And that should be it. But we have a long way to go. This is such an annoying DIY. So first the cable. All right, let's turn the horn and the bracket back. I'm just working by feel here. I can feel the bolt sticking up. I want to align it with the tab, like so. That's the snorkel with its fastener. Now maybe it's easier just to start by attaching the horn bracket to the car first. That way I'll have something to work with. Again, a 10mm socket with a flexible joint. So with the horn bracket fastened, we should have something to work with to attach the snorkel. Right, the snorkel is now fastened. I'm going to make sure the snorkel sits tight to the other horn bracket too. Good, and with that done, I'm pushing down the cable tie that holds the cable. Beautiful, and with the horn back in, we just need to push back the front of the car. Make sure it fits all the way around. Go from one side to the other. Line up all the holes. I think I'll need to fasten the bolts here before I can attach the side of the bumper. And the plastic rivets go back just as I showed you. Pull out the middle part, push in the rivet, then press down. And then the final bolts on each side, 8mm socket. It feels good to be done. I'm also aware now it's a very hot day today, and this was kind of an annoying DIY. So the workshop manual sucks. It didn't tell us what it meant by this hook in the front panel. It did not show us all the bolts. It did not show us the cable tie. We had to figure out almost everything by ourselves. But now we have it on the video how to replace the horns on your Saab 9.5. This would have been so much easier if we had an older Saab 9.5 where you could remove the grill and poke inside. But this is why we have YouTube. I can show you and bring along while I do the DIY, and we can know together what the workshop manual didn't tell us. With this down, we're one step closer to inspection. There's still a few more small things to do. Maybe I'll do a few more videos on this. But in the summer, I will try to make the inspection date, and hopefully she will pass. But Anna loves her car. She thinks it's stylish, and I would agree. It's got good performance, good space in the boot, so it gives good utility. But anyway, thank you very much for watching Trionic 7. My name is Jonathan, and I will see you in the next Saab video. Bye bye.